2016, right? So 7 years ago, I walked through the wrong stores at Mpower, a young girl, shy, quiet, no experience in face-to-face marketing. And what initially attracted me to the business was the opportunity to really make a lot of money and also grow in the business. Now, if you've been here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, whatever, you already know that the business comes with challenges, right? And we all have to face the challenges if we're gonna make it through, right? What I wanna talk about today is really just pushing forward, okay? So, I'm going to, I need a piece of chart. Now I need y'all to stay with me because this may be a little bit hard to follow, but I need y'all to stay with me.
You can use that little square where the house is.
Little school, I need a bigger square.
Nah, that's not gonna work.
Over there.
That's stuff.
Get them
On the left side.
and just get
Just a board?
No, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna just do this right here. I'm gonna do it
Oh,
right
we got one.
here.
Yeah.
All right,
Push a little section down there.
Nah, don't do it.
So real quick, so what I want to talk about real quick, I want to talk about, as I said, I've been in the business for 7 years, right? I came into the company in 2016. I was promoted to a TL in 2016. I got the opportunity to run my first office in 2016 of October, right? I went out into the Bronx and I inherited an office, so to speak, and I'm a new manager, no management experience. I come from Victoria's Secret, I used to work at a restaurant, so now I come into this management role. I just know how to build teams. I don't know how to run offices. So that office went from 30 people to about 10 people really quick, really, really fast. It went from 30 to 10, right? And I had to legitimately trust in the process. I had to rebuild that office. I say all that to say that we were able to take that office back up. The Brooklyn office at the time in 2017 when I had just come back, it was one of the top offices in the business. We were promoting JTLs, we were promoting TLs. I ended up having a baby, leaving the company and coming back at the end of 2017 in December, right? When I come back, they saying, hey, we're closing down the Brooklyn office. We have a new market for you guys. This office isn't doing too well. I want you to go out there and build it up. So I went out into the New Jersey office. And for me, New Jersey, even though I ran an office before, New Jersey for me was the office that really helped me to get my foot off the ground. Right? In New Jersey, we hired Demetrius early on. We can clap it up for that.
Yeah, Pete. Yeah, Pat.
Other leaders that you guys see in the company now, a lot of the other managers that you guys see, we were able to establish and create something really beautiful in the New Jersey office, very similar to what you guys are doing right here in the Philadelphia office. But as you guys know, there's no type of success that comes without hard work, right? And without challenges, right? And sometimes it's easy to, what people say, get complacent, right? I'm a very firm believer that there's no such thing as complacency, right? I had the opportunity to speak to some of the guys this morning, and my motto is there's no complacency. It's either you're moving forward or you're moving backwards in the business, right? And I'll tell you why, right? So just try to follow me. So this is a timeline, okay? This is the starting point of your career, and then you have some pivotal moments that are gonna happen. True or true?
True.
Right? Now that arrow over there is not the ending point. Let me just preface that. That arrow means what, essentially? Say that one more time. What's your name? Tierra. We'll clap for Tierra. So the arrow over here essentially just means that time, more so time. Everybody say time. Time keeps going, right? So if you're here, right? The space in between, not even, let's make this a little bit more spicy. Let's say you are here in the middle, right? The space between this here and right here, the current time, is 1,
Yes.
This is the now. You're here. This is the now. There's 5 spaces in between, let's just say, where you're looking to go, right? Now, if time keeps going on, which it always does, when people think that they're complacent in the same spot, everyone say comfortable.
Comfortable.
Right? What happens is that now, as time continues to go on, at first you were only 5 spots from your destination or from your goal, whatever. Now, how many spots are you? More. Which means that you're actually not in the same spot anymore. You are backwards. You're further away. And if you're further away from your destination, that just means that you took steps backwards as opposed to taking steps forward. Right? So that's why I always tell people there's no such thing as complacency. You may think you're being complacent, but and this is for Mpower, but this is just in life in general. You may think that you're being complacent, or I hear the word comfortable, things of that nature. There's no such thing. You're either moving
Forward.
or
Backward.
you're either moving what?
Forward.
Or what?
Backward.
Right? Now, why is it that we get into these spaces where we think we're being complacent, but we're moving backwards? One, or how does this even happen? One, we make excuses. Right? We make excuses for everything. There's an excuse for why we didn't hit quota last week. There's an excuse as to why we're not going to PC this year. There's an excuse for why we're not building our team or why our people are getting demoted. There's so many excuses, right? Another reason why we get complacent is because it's easy. Everybody say easy.
Easy.
It's easy to not show up every single day. It's easy to take 5 days off of the month. When we have 2 days, we're taking 5, we're taking 6, right? It's easy to leave the field early. We know we should be out there until 7:30, 8 o'clock, but guess what? It's just too easy. Let me leave a little early, right? Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. It's easy. It's easy to not have team meetings when you're supposed to be having team meetings. It's easy to come in late and your guys are here early. It's very easy to do those things. But the reality is that what all of those things contribute to is us essentially taking steps backwards as opposed to
Forwards.
why? Because there's no such thing as being in the same spot.
Juice.
By that?
Juice.
So how do we keep moving forward? The first step to always moving forward is to have a goal. There was a Harvard study that was done in 1976, I want to say, where they surveyed a graduating class, right? And they asked them, how many people have goals? And 87% of those people had no goals whatsoever, right? 13% of them had, or 60% of them, whatever, had goals, but they weren't written down. And there was only 3, this study, you guys can look it up, the Harvard study, 3% of those people from the graduating class had goals and them written down. 10 years went by, and what they found out was that the people who had, the 16 or the 17% who had goals, but they weren't written down, they were making 2 times as much money as the 87% of people who did not have any goals whatsoever. What they found was that the 3% who had goals and had them written down, they were making 10 times as much money as the 97% of the people who graduated. 10 times as much. So the first step to moving forward, because there's no staying still, is to make sure you have a goal. If I didn't have a goal when I first started in 2016, I wouldn't have gotten promoted that year. If I didn't have a goal when I was coming up in the business, I wouldn't be a regional manager. It's not because I'm smarter than everybody else. I didn't go to a fancy school, and I definitely didn't come from a family where everybody is running their own business and we're all business savvy. No, it's about having a goal, and we're never too old and never too young to actually just sit down and think about what is it that I want to accomplish. Because without that starting point, what you'll find is that as time is moving forward, you'll be moving backwards. And the people that you're coming up in the business with, the ones that have goals, they're going to be moving forward. You want to be a part of the 3%. Everybody say 3%.
3%.
In this business, in this office, in this industry, you want to be the 3%. That's making 10 times. Everybody say 10 times.
10 times.
10 times as much money
How many?
as the people who do not have any goals.
Two.
So one, it starts with a goal. Two, second thing to keep moving forward. You want to use the negatives, the challenges, or whatever you want to call them as motivation. Most people, what they do is what? They use the challenges as a reason to leave the field early. They use the challenges as a reason to not come in the next day. They use the challenges as a reason to be late. As opposed to taking those same negatives and using them as fuel. Everybody say fuel.
Fuel.
If you want to move forward in this business, you got to use those challenges as your fuel. And I saw this with my own eyes. I remember way back when I struggled using challenges as fuels. But there's some people, if they're mad, you put them in the territory, they're using that madness, that frustration, that anger, and they're running shit up. They're not gonna be like, damn, I'm mad, I'm necked out, I can't even talk to these customers. Some people are like that, but some people be like, nah, I'm mad, so guess what? I'm fired up.
True.
If you want to keep moving forward, second thing outside of the goals, you got to use your negatives as your motivation. Use those challenges as your fuel to keep pushing forward. Everybody say forward.
Forward.
And then the third thing that you guys are going to do is you want to be able to learn from your mistakes. The reason why that's critical is because, and I had a conversation with, I want to say it was you, Zion, right? I had a conversation with Zion. Zion asked me today, how do you turn failures into success? So it's very easy. You learn from your mistakes. That's the only way. If you can learn from a mistake, if you can learn from a failure, that's how you turn it into something positive. And if you're learning, that's more knowledge, and knowledge is power. It'll give you what you need to keep pushing forward. Juice by that?
Juice.
So what I want everybody to do today, first and foremost, I want you to grab a pen if you don't have one. We're gonna go old school a little bit. Grab a pen.
We'll grab like 3 of them.
You don't need a paper, just grab a pen. I want you to take your pen. Take your pen in your hand. And the other hand, whatever hand you don't write with, I want you to ball a fist. I want you to ball a fist. Your pen. Alright. In the crevice of your thumb and your pointer finger, whichever one the fist is, right? That part right here sometimes will be a little ashy, right? This little area over here, I want you to take, right? I want you to take your pen and I want you to write down what your goal is for today.
With the hand we can't write with?
You're going to take the hand that you do write with, you're going to make a fist with the hand that you don't write with, and you're going to write your goal. In between that little crevice. So, as far as it goes with us having a successful day, we're already 50% ahead of the curve. Why? Because we took down our goal and we wrote it down. What's your goal for today, Samaya? 4. Yep. What's your goal today, Lisa? 10. What's your goal today, Eric? 10 plus today. Pat, what's your goal today?
10 plus.
10 plus.
10
Don't
plus.
tell me. Brian, 10 plus. Zion,
6 plus.
6 plus. Unique,
6 plus.
6 plus. I didn't even get everybody in the room, but we're well over 50 pieces today. We've had somewhat of a slow trend for whatever reasons over the last couple of weeks, but there's no reason that today we shouldn't be able to go out there and exceed at least 50 pieces today. And why? Because we already did the first thing that we need to do, which is we wrote down our goals. Juice by that?
Juice.
Second thing I want you guys to do when you're in the field today, when the customers are telling you no, when it's getting a little nippy and you don't have your hand warmers, when your stomach is hurting, you need something to drink, you're thirsty, I want you to use that as your motivation to keep pushing. Don't let the no's stop you. Don't let them defeat you. You use that as your fuel. Everybody say fuel.
Fuel.
Everybody say fuel.
Fuel.
And third, when you're out there today, I want you to really learn from your mistakes. If a customer tells you no, figure out a way that you could have did it a little bit different. Dang, maybe I overkilled it. Maybe I said something that I should. Maybe I came off a little too salesy. Maybe I didn't do an icebreaker. Maybe I forgot my intro. Try to figure out how we're going to learn from our mistakes today. Juice by that?
Juice.
Right, because remember, the idea is this. There's no moving, there's no standing still. Right, this is a winning office right here. We have a winning team right here. And winners, they don't stand still. They don't get complacent. What winners do, we move forward and not backwards. Juice by that?
Juice.
Let's clap it up for today. All right, we're going to bring it in. We're going to bring it in. We're going to bring it in. We're going to say, it's going to be a little lengthy, but I need y'all to stick with me, all right? We're going to say, winning teams hit their goals. That's it. Winning teams hit their goals. I need y'all to say that crap like y'all believe it, right? I need y'all to say that like y'all believe it. We're not losers. We're not wimps, as Kat may say. This is a winning team. This is a winning office. And the first step is hitting our goals. Winning teams hit goals. 1, 3.
1, 2, 3. Winning teams hit goals.